Hello everyone, this is Peter from experttrading.co.uk, and this is a video about our sniper strategy. Many of our clients might have seen that when we send around the monthly results, you have different strategies in there. We have sniper, pivot, ambush, snake down, snake up, and what we're going to do, we're going to create a series of videos to explain these strategies, and this one is my favourite one. Is the sniper strategy. It's very simple, and the reason it's called sniper is because you're just waiting for all the time frames to line up and then you execute a trade. Right, so the first thing we need, the fundamental thing about this strategy, is that we need all the time frames to be lined up. We generally want that for all our strategies, but this one is very important. So what we need is a 50 period moving average on the daily, the 4-hour and the 1-hour charts, all to be trading in the same place. So in this case we have EURUSD, and as you can see on the daily, the 50 period moving average, which is this red line down here on the day. Let me open this up, charts one by one. So this is our daily chart, and the 50 period moving average is the red line and price is below it. So now we move on to the next chart, the 4-hour chart. So as we can see, price is below the 50 period moving average as well. And let's move on to the hourly chart, and here on the red line, price is quite nicely tucked below the 50 period moving average. And then what we do is we go to the 5-minute chart, and we normally come to the table at about 6 in the morning, because then that's when London starts to wake up and starts to move. So you can only trade the strategy between 6 and 8 in the morning. You can trade it later, but you have to trade it between specific times so that you know how it moves during that time. We know how the market moves during this time because this is when London opens. This is when the Forex markets really get more volume and liquidity, and we want to be the early bird at 6 o'clock to catch those moves. So as we can see here, price is above the 50 period moving average. We don't care about it here being below, we don't care. Right now it's above, and the other time frames are all below. So we're looking for the other time frames to pull this 5-minute time frame down. And all we're looking to do is enter a trade on the first bar, the first bar that closes below the 50 period moving average. Then the next bar that takes out that low, the low of the closing bar, is the trade that we take. We take a 20 pips take profit, 20 pips stop loss. We have an 80% hit rate with the strategy. We win 80% of these trades. So here it closes below, it closes just on the 50, so we don't look at that. We need the next bar to close below. Right, so this one closes below. Now what we need is for the next bar to actually take out the low of this bar, and it doesn't. It doesn't take out the low. It closes, goes down a bit, and then shoots up. So we have no trade here. We wouldn't enter a trade. A lot of people would enter a trade here, and I just think it's wrong because it doesn't confirm the momentum of the closing bar. So then the next trade, as you see, it goes up, and if you did enter here on this close, let's say at 24, it would have gone up. It wouldn't quite have reached your stop loss, so you would have been okay, but it's a bit risky. Because have a look at when we actually do enter this trade, because we took this trade this morning, and I'll show you on the MetaTrader statement just in a minute. So this bar, the latest bar here, you can see definitely closed below the 50 period moving average. So what we need price to take out the low of that bar, this low here. So then the next bar it took out that low, so we entered the trade, and now we're in for short. All we're looking for is 20 pips. So then the price goes down, it moves down, it doesn't quite get our 20 pips, it moves just gets 2 pips, stops 2 pips before our target, which is fine. It moves up and it retraces. As you can see, this is a very good sign for us. If it retraces and it bounces, and it doesn't close above the 50 but just bounces off it. Look, it just bounces here and then it heads back down. Now at this point, as you can see here, this green line at the top is the 200 moving average. Our stop loss is tucked behind there at about 3342, and then price goes down and it hits our target, which is kind of what we expect. We don't normally see that many retracements. If your broker's really good and you got a good entry, you could have exited at this level, which would be a good place to exit. It was a bit more risky waiting for those extra 2 pips, but that's the strategy. And so, I mean, price falls even further. So, I mean, that's very good. It fell another 20 pips or so, but you shouldn't be too hung up on grabbing those. Just wait for the 20 pips. So the same happened on Swiss franc. All the price action is all above the 50 period moving average. So on the daily, as you can see, the 50 period moving average is on this trend line up, and it's broken actually a long time downtrend, but yeah, so it's above the 50 period moving average. The 4 hour, that's above the 50 period moving average. The 1 hour was most definitely above the 50 period moving average with a very strong trend line as well. So we looked on the 5-minute chart here for a close from about 6 onwards. So it was this one. So it was here. So this was at about 6:30. So it closed here above the 50 period moving average. Didn't break it on the next bar, but it actually broke it on this bar. So then what happened is it went down and then it went up into our direction and knocked us out of the trade. Actually, I think over here. So we exited the trade for a nice profit. I'll show you these trades. So here they are, each collecting about 1%. So as you can see, that entered on the euro number and the Swiss franc number. The euro was actually entered about 40 minutes after. About 30 minutes after the Swiss franc move, but they tend to move in tandem. So that's the sniper strategy. And if you wake up every morning at 6 o'clock and look at these charts, these 4 different time frames, you will see that correlation happen a lot. We can use it on GBPUSD as well. This is actually the pair cable is the best pair for snipers. We have not had one losing sniper trade on this. The one time we did lose, we didn't wait for the confirmation on the trade. So we've lost one trade out of the last, I don't know, 12 trades on cable. But we didn't take a sniper this morning. Even if we had, it would have been a success. But the 4-hour time frame wasn't lined up. So price, at the time of coming here at 6 o'clock, price was above the 50 period moving average. Now if it closes below and it stays below here for tomorrow, we could look to take a sniper on GB as well. Right, so we hope that was useful and you can use that strategy to improve on your own trading.